Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Get It Right with Atara Solutions. You guys are amazing, amazing, amazing as always. It's good to see you. Good to see the chat is busy. Good evening, everyone. I see Rabala says Kisumu is cool, but they missed tear gas. Where Rabala, we are not having that conversation today, no. And yeah, it's really good to see all of you who have tuned in to Get It Right with the Sarah Solutions. And we are here, we do this every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we seek to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. My name is Grace Nzula. I am the host and I'm an HR consultant and trainer with Atara Solutions. And with me is my co-host, Kevin, you can go.
As you've heard, Kevin Adipo is my name. Welcome all. And it's just amazing, as always, to see you every Tuesday as we seek to demystify and to make both the employees, employers a better, to create a better working environment for each other. And I'm just so glad that you're a part of this and you're a part of this movement. Back to you, Grace.
All right, thank you, Kevin. So we have a movement, Sawa. So that's fine. All right, and yeah, Kevin, thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you. And Kevin is manning our Facebook page as well, because you're live on Facebook as well. And of course, with us is Catherine Sidandi. Catherine Sidandi is a sign language interpreter. She supports us and makes us inclusive. So if you know someone who would benefit from these sessions and they have hearing impairment, you can ask them to not be left behind, because we have Catherine here who supports us and make sure that we are inclusive so that we can get to reach to a wider audience. So Get It Right with Atara Solutions is a webinar series that seeks to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. We do this every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we are in partnership with a number of organizations, and allowed me to just give them a shout out. We have a Stallion Construction Company Limited. Stallion Construction Company Limited, like the name spells it, deals in construction. We have Pathway Solution Services. Pathway Solution Services are a HR and training company. They have been offering training to our people through their LMS. LMS is a learning management system. Last week, about 10 people got a chance to win a training with Pathway Solutions on entrepreneurship. And the week, or rather 2 weeks before that, when we were discussing sexual harassment, we got 20 applications for the 5 free sessions that had been offered by Pathway Solutions. And Frank was kind enough to say, you know what, Grace, I'm going to extend this offer to everyone who actually went ahead and applied, because their stories and why they deserve the training is compelling. And therefore, 20 people were able to be trained for free. They're actually doing it right now. LMS is where you train by yourself. You log into a system, the content is there, you learn, and then at the end of it all, Frank gives you certificates. So that we appreciate your partnership, Pathway Solutions Services. And then we have a HRMPEB. HRMPEB is Human Resource Management Professional Examination Body. Human Resource Management Professional Examination Body is a body that examines human resource professionals in Kenya and the world across. If you're looking to become CHRP, that is Certified Human Resource Professional, you can take the HRMPEB exams, which are offered in a number of institutions. HRMPEB, if you want to become CHRP, there are 2 times that you do exams. That is the June series and the November series. So do not just wonder what you want to do with yourself. You want to become a CHRP, please talk to me. They are the people who give you exemptions. They are the people who do examinations, and then you go for tuition to the different institutions. So HRMPEB, if you're here, do not get stuck, reach out to me, and I'll be able to guide you accordingly on what you need to do on matters becoming a CHRP or going for a diploma in human resource management. And then we have Institute of Pension Management. We have Panessa Training Institute. We have WeClean. WeClean is a carpet cleaning and home cleaning company. If you have sofas that you need cleaned, if you have a house that you want thoroughly cleaned, uko chini where you don't get to, and of course, if you have carpet that needs to be cleaned, they have a machine that cleans carpets within 6 minutes. And don't worry about the rains. They pick up your carpet from your house. The guys come, they remove the carpet for themselves. They take it with them. And then when they come back the next day, they actually lay it down for you. So there's no hassle for you at all. And they do such an amazing job. So come check them out on Instagram or Facebook or WeClean. And then we have Suluhu Mediation Center. Suluhu Mediation Center offers mediation training. I'm personally a certified professional mediator, and I did my training with Suluhu Mediation Center. They have quite a number of classes coming up in April and May. They have virtual classes, they have physical classes, and they have LMS classes where you can just study by yourself. So all these options are available, and they have new intakes coming up in April, May, and June. So you can reach out to me if you want to become a certified professional mediator. And then we have Profiles International. Profiles International are the guys who deal with psychometric assessments. They also are the GENOS, they own the GENOS certification for emotional intelligence. So if you're on this call and you want to become an emotional intelligence practitioner, certified that is, then Profiles International are the people who offer that. And then they do, if you're an HR and you want to recruit and you're wondering what to do with the psychometric, or you want to even understand how psychometric assessments work, they have an intake, a session, a class that's coming up this month, or is it in May, on understanding psychometric. It's a Zoom session. It's 48,000 shillings for about for a certain period of time. I'll be sharing the flyer with you. And I'm sure if Marvin is on the call, Marvin, you can just share the details on the chat about the upcoming class on understanding psychometric assessment. And then we have Kapula Mintito. Kapula Mintito deals in coastal snacks. We have El Samea. El Samea is your best place to go. By the way, if you don't have, and you have not booked your holiday for this, what do we call it? Easter. You can check into El Samea Conservation Center. El Samea Lodge is in Naivasha. They have the most beautiful lawns I've ever seen. It's outside the lake. At night, if you want to spend the night, the animals come grazing. You can get to see a hippo. You get to see zebras. You get to see giraffes. Just there, it's beautiful. And then they also have a museum that gives a story of Elsa. Elsa was actually a lion, or rather, somebody called Elsa adopted a lion called Elsa. Anyway, but that's the story. And then we have Purpose. Purpose deals in IT. If you're looking for an ERP or a HR management system. And then we have Steadfast Quality Solutions Limited. Steadfast Quality Solutions Limited is a HR consulting and public relations company. They are located in Kampala, Uganda. And that is how we have a lot of Ugandans who tune into our sessions. Thanks to Mr. Herbert Zake for sharing our flyers. Herbert, you are awesome. You are awesome. I pray to God that he continue blessing you, and may your boundaries never, what do we call them? Blessings never find boundaries. May they come express. Yes. Thank you very much for that. And all right, allow us to jump into the business of the day. And this evening, we are privileged to be hosting a friend of mine who we have hosted here before. And back then we hosted her as an entrepreneur in our season 1. This is in 2020, season 1. And she gave her story on how she went into business. So if you're on this call and you have just met Sarah Karingi the other day and you think she's wonderful, you should listen to that recording. She has been panel beaten by life and by yes. And Sarah is just wonderful. She has written books on networking. So allow me to introduce our speaker this evening. Her name is Sarah Karingi. She otherwise calls herself the Queen of Networking, but she's also a seasoned entrepreneur. She's an entrepreneur with multi-industry interest and vast experience in building and construction, real estate, business networking, and speaking. She's currently the CEO of Summer Holdings Limited, the Queen of Network Africa, and Miles Ahead Investments Limited. She has served in various leadership positions, including director in charge of hospitality at the United Kenya Club, director consultant at BNI, and also served as president BNI Mavuno chapter and the national chairperson Global Business Roundtable. She's a member of the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Women in Business, and Dubai Business Women Council, an initiative of Dubai Chamber. She is an award-winning, she is a global award winner. Hey, the way I call myself an award winner, I need to style up. Sarah's passion for business and networking and her remarkable business track record has earned her notable awards. In 2017, she was the Africa's Best Networker Award, that is Innovative Thinkers Institute. She was also the Abtei Entrepreneurship Award she won in 2018, alongside Honorable Margaret Kenyatta and Ambassador Amina Mohammed. Wow, congratulations. In 2019, she won the Vigor Award in Canada, from Canada, and this is for her commitment towards people amelioration through business networking. In 20, she won Africa Business Hero of the Year Award, building a ladder for African women. Wow, Sarah. And then she has authored a number of books, including Overcoming the Impossible, where she tells the story of her life, the challenges of how she overcame them. It is a book for everyone who believes that they carry something special within them and need to unleash it. She has also authored What Successful Business Networkers Do. Call it the ultimate guide for people who want to leverage the power of networking. And she will be sharing some tips of what she has put in her book this evening, because we must leverage. I mean, we cannot have the queen of networking with us and then we go without nothing. And then she has also authored Who is in Your Room with Dr. Ivan Misner, the father of business networking. Wow. So, hey, Sarah, you have, her profile is just rich. You can check her out on www.sarahkaringi.com. You'll find a lot more on Sarah. And of course, tonight she's gonna tell us about the businesses, the books where we can buy them. And of course, how we can get in touch with her, because we are definitely coming under her wings. Hey, anyway, Sarah, I need to work harder. Where? Hey, Kevin, you guys think I am disruptive? Where? Hey, Sarah.
Sarah. Okay. So thank you very much.
Amazing woman, I must say. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you very much. My network is not very stable, so I hope if you don't hear me, please just alert me, Grace. Thank you very much for that introduction. I know I have a very long, I thank God, because I have really worked hard on my life. For the last 10 years, I've really been working so hard. But I'm something because of the support I have given to people. What I learned from Pepe Minambo, who used to train us on how to do public speaking, he actually asked us, what legacy do you want to leave behind when we are long gone? And for me, I was like, because I started learning networking and really getting interested in it, and because all my life I've been a giver, and I realized that, of course, networking is about sharing so much about whatever you think you can give value to others, you just go ahead and do it. I said, I think I need to focus on this. And I actually pushed myself. I went full throttle. I read so many books on networking. I have many books on networking. I Google a lot about networking because networking is continuous. Now, among the books that I have written is this one. This was my first book. That is Overcoming the Impossible. It shows that, of course, anything you want under the sun, and as long as you believe in God, you get what you want. I push myself, I encourage myself, and I don't think there's anything whatsoever that can put me down when I want to get what I want, of course, except God. This book is a small it's a small book. It introduces ourselves to people. When we go to network out there, how do we focus mostly on ourselves, but the book tells you about the mistakes that you make and what you should always do when you meet people. This one, you can be shocked. I went all the way to America to look for Dr. Ivan Meissner. After going to the embassy of America, I was denied a visa 3 times, and the 4th time, you can imagine, every month going and being told no, no, no. And finally, I got it. Just look for someone. Why? Because I really wanted to be mentored. And as I did that, he told me, because I actually went with this book, and the other book, this is what he liked most, and he told me that he's also going to, and he asked me to just put some nuggets on networking, which are here, and this one is just about values. What values do you have? And you also, in the book, there are engines and anchors. Who are engines? Engines are people who encourage you, people who hold your hand and tell you, let me take you to this direction, but not this other direction. Then there are anchors, people who just want you to stay in one space. They don't want you to learn new things. They discourage you. They tell you things are not possible. Either maybe they tried, but they didn't succeed. So let's just come straight to what has actually brought me here this evening. And before I start, I would like, first of all, to thank Grace, who has been my friend. And I met her through, of course, someone connected me to her. So that is why I feel that networking can really break barriers. It doesn't matter how strong a door can be, that will not be broken, not even broken, but opened so easily by somebody, and you find yourself getting in. So it's just a matter of building a relationship with that person. So now, Grace, before we continue, I would also like to say that the businesses that I do, one thing I do is that I grow people. I coach people. I do one-on-one trainings on networking. It could be an organization. I've trained quite a number of organizations, institutions, businesses, individuals, and I actually pour my heart out, and I give very practical examples and the mistakes I make. I know many people don't like talking about the mistakes, but until you talk about a certain mistake, people will not be able to understand how did you come out of that problem. Then they will learn from you, and that is the essence of us being here. So before I continue, I would like to give you 2 of my minutes. You describe on this chat box what you understand by networking, what's networking, or what are networks. Whichever will be easier for you, please just put down, even if it is 5 people or 10 people. And then after that, I'll tell you what else to do, because we are all going to learn together. And there's no answer which is wrong. Please just put down what you describe. How would you describe business networking? I'm waiting to see. Somebody write. Kagia says it's profitable partnerships. Continue, somebody else. It's creating rapport.
Social or business partnerships. Elizabeth Mwangi, networking is creating rapport. Richard, networking is creating connection for mutual benefit. We have Mutai Beth, who is saying building relationships. Riziki, Emukule, the people you know what you can mutually depend on. Jengane, valuable business connection. And then Bernard having a community. Esther interacting with people from various organizations. And that relationship for mutual benefit, and so on and so forth.
Wow. Hey.
Yes.
I can see I'm already talking to experts. Thank you very much, because everything that has been put here is correct. I don't think there's anything which is wrong. So it's just a matter of just putting a stamp. And so thanks so much for whoever has actually participated. Now, the other thing I want you to share is, what are the barriers that have that act as handicaps, or they act like blocks to your success? What are those life barriers or even economic barriers that make you not to succeed or to move from one step to another step?
Okay, barriers here. We have Esther who is saying fear of unknown, finance, age, self-doubt, procrastination, negative people, negative attitude, cost of networking, fear of failure, life barrier, financial challenges, poor etiquette, self-doubt, taking risks. We have Lily saying imposter syndrome, and then she repeats the procrastination bit. We have personality. Most people are talking about finance, that is no capital, poor relations, and yeah, those are the ones that we received so far. Egocentric, low self-esteem.
No self-esteem. There are many,
Yes.
and I think that is what is there.
Childhood
I think,
traumas.
thank you very much.
That one
Atara,
is
you're a very
probably
good
the key.
student. I'm really enjoying this, and this is very good. I've actually never asked people to do this. I say,
yes, back to you, Sarah.
Thank you. So can you hear me? I hope you're hearing me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Sarah.
Okay, so what we'll do is that, Grace, because of time, because you've told me that I should take about, say, 20 minutes, let's go straight now to my presentation. Just run it for me, please. The topic is, how does networking break economic life barriers? And yes, of course, I want to describe networking, and number one, of course, both Global Networks Investment. This is a company I started in 2016. It went down. I was not very active. Of course, as you said about barriers and fear and all that, I went through that for some time, and then I came up.
Okay, we have lost Sarah. So as she comes, yes, I think it's her network which is buffering. Lily Karanja says selfishness, not wanting to give only, wanting to receive. Actually, that is very true. Yes, Sarah, we've lost Sarah, but I know she will be logging on very soon. And she was just introducing her company, which is the Global Network Investments. And she was also about to just say what business networking is in her own definition, which is she has put for us on this presentation. That was Sarah. She's gonna join us shortly. She has an issue with her network, but she's logging on with a different gadget. And yeah, so have you been networking, and what are some of the things that you have learned through networking? Sasha says, or not updating your work, you get depleted from the market. That's very, very true. And I'm very curious to know about the people who are talking about finances, because networking does not have to really cost, I think. So long as you're with people, this is just my opinion. I think if you go to church, if you go to the mosque, if you go to the market, if you go to different places of our lives, your everyday places, you tend to meet with people, and networking is just how more you interact with people and how you help other people, so that when you need their help, they'll come and help you. So yes, Hilda says networking has to be intentional. Yes, especially if you struggle with it. And what are some of the things that you have learned through through networking? Maybe you can share on the chat. What are some of the lessons you picked through networking? And maybe we'll encourage the people who have fear of networking to learn something. Joshua says, my struggle has always not been knowing how to develop the relationship between us. Okay. Riziki says, if you're looking for high network individuals, you are likely to get them at clubs, etc., where you have to spend, so finances do come into play. Yes, I agree, but not in its entirety. So of course, if you want to join Capital Club or Modega Golf Club, there's an investment to go in there. And of course, that comes. Martin says it landed him a job. Colin says you have to be bold enough. That's true. Edward says serious networks potentials are interacted with in high-flying places like golf club. That's true. But so some of them are also in church. In the church I go to, sometimes there's a harambe and you hear somebody has committed 1 million shillings and you're like, And no, they are not in the golf club. They are in that church. So, yes. And then Scholar says, honestly, you must be trustworthy and add VSLU. I don't know what that is. Leah says it has added multiple job contracts. Sylvia says AIM should bring growth. Susan says networking can improve your career sharing experiences. Edda says, Edda laughs. And then Judith says, people are usually more friendly than I imagine. That's absolutely true. Sarah, we are asking people, what are some of the struggles? And also that networking doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. But there's an interesting one that says some of the struggles is, how does she develop, Joshua, how does he develop the relationship between each other? And then, of course, there was another interesting one. Anyway, welcome back. And yes, you can take us through the presentation.
Thank you very much. So I'm actually using my phone, and this is what happens at times with technology. And someone told me that every time, anytime, be ready. In case there's a problem, then you have to get an alternative. And thank you very much. So I have to use my phone. So Grace, at least I can see my presentation there. Thank you very much. So now, the way that you see, networking can be described in so many ways, but it's all about people. Of course, people don't network with animals. People network with one another. And the most important thing is the network that we join, or the network that is around us. Is it the right network? And how do you choose a network? Of course, you have to be very deliberate. You don't just go and join any group. Assume maybe it's a network for swimmers and you want to be in football, then I think you'll be in the wrong place, not unless if you want one specific person maybe to act as a mentor. So now what I have done is now to describe networking in my own way. It is the art of creating connections. It is developing them into strong and meaningful relationships, cultivating and maintaining them. So when I met Grace, we have been somehow connecting, and every Tuesday, this girl always makes sure that she sends me the webinars that are taking place, which means, of course, she has connected with me. She has never failed, not even one day, which means she's very good at building relationships. Another person in this group is Coach Richie. And Richie always asks me, hi, Queen of Networking, such relationships. So even if any of them comes to me and they want me to assist them in anything, I'll not forget them. I'll be like, okay, how can I be of help to you? So when we say that, of course, it is creating connections, it's how do you create a connection? It is how do you start maybe conversing or talking to people. Then from there, after that, after the talk, what next? Because where there's a disconnect is, we meet today, probably I realize that maybe we can do something together. I wait until after 2 years. I remember there is a Tara, and then is when I will start calling. I should be, who is that? Oh, Sarah, I can't remember your name. You want to see? So not that, okay, you have to talk to each and every person, but the moment you connect with someone and you feel that there's something that you can do together, then you don't have to break that relationship. Then we have to make the relationship strong. How? By just becoming you. And what I mean by being you is being so real, being so genuine, being interested in other people, or the people that, of course, you will relate with, because you never know when you meet them. And then when you say that, of course, we have to make this relationship meaningful. We focus on what is in it for me versus what is in it for you. So we need to focus on, let me not just be the person to talk. Let me listen to other people. Let me see how I can be of support to them. What can I also learn from them? So I should also give them my ears. I should also listen to them so carefully that I have to learn, maybe it is their businesses.
We have lost Sarah again. Sarah, you need to move back to Nairobi. All right.
And
now you're back. Yes, now we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So now, and that is why I would also like to say that I was talking about connections. After you connect with someone, you need to develop that relationship with people, with those people that you have already met. Then that relationship, you have to make it strong. You should have, you see, like when you tie a rope and then you pull it, you realize there's that strong bond. So of course, somehow you are interconnected like this. So it means when you are interconnected like that, it means you form a very strong bond. Then from there, you have to make sure that every now and then, you have to maintain that relationship so that anytime that someone wants to meet you, anytime that they want to, maybe anywhere they go, they will always remember Atara. When I look at Tara or something like Tara or anything like that, I always remember Grace because there's something about her that is very unique. So anything about HR, it will be her. Anything that, of course, is about people, it will be her. So that is what we need to do. And when we look at people like Robert Kiyosaki, he's one person that I really cherish because he gave me a lot of support when I lost my husband and I was reading something about him. And when I was reading, I saw about the word focus, which means follow one thing until successful. And this man, I started following him and I came across this quote, which says that the richest people in the world look for networks while everybody else looks for work. What this means is that he realized, of course, networks are very important. If I want a supplier of, say, electrical gadgets, if within my network, I just call and ask who supplies these gadgets. If I want someone maybe to train my staff in matters, say, entrepreneurship, whom can I call? I call Grace because she has a huge network, then she'll connect me. So instead of wasting my time looking for people that are not important and they may, of course, also call me, the most important thing is I go to my network and I ask them for solutions. I ask them who can support me in this or the other. So that is why this man says that when you see people who are very wealthy, at times we say, oh, there has been corruption. At times it's not always about corruption. It's about how people are connected. So you realize that when people are working so closely together, anytime there's an opportunity, this person will be connected to another. And most of the places when you see like even these politicians, and of course I'm not talking about politics, I'm only using that as an example. I went to Vicar Sports Club one day and there were so many people. I was like, what is happening here? They wanted one of them to win as an MP and they gathered together, they pulled the resources together and that man was put as an MP. So why? Because they are a network of golfers. And that is why you see they came together to achieve this goal. Let's go to the next slide, please, Grace. Yeah, now when you look at this, it's now a definition of barriers. And I've really liked what most of you have said here. Some of them it is fear, others is like lack of confidence, and many other things. But then I would say that just to put a few of them, and of course some of you have put here. Now the definition of barriers is either it's a setback or maybe it's fear. It could be, of course, obstacles. It could be challenges that we face, and we realize that we can't go far. Now with all this, if you have a good network, I'll come and encourage you and tell you, you know what? You don't have to fear. I'm here to give you the support. If it's something maybe you want to start a business and you have been employed, like when I left employment to take care of my late husband when he was sick, to be very honest, I was in full of fear because I've never managed a business. I was saying like, now I'm going to crash these businesses. So there's that element of fear. But you see, there were people who worked with me. One of them was my manager, and she worked with me and told me, you know what, ma'am, we can work together. I'll support you. I'll show you. So that gave me a lot of encouragement. So many people just fear to continue or to start doing something because at times fear can overwhelm us. And then you find that, of course, because of that, you realize that you cannot grow past a certain level. At times you see like the burden is so big, you cannot be able to move. And that becomes like, of course, it's like when you find that when people are running and then they start line, of course, that you're supposed to cross. It's like when you look ahead, it's like, gosh, shall I be able to get to the crossing line? So that is what happens. So when you have people who can help you to overcome the challenges or the obstacles in your life, then it means you can be able to face life without, of course, without any fear. You'll be able to continue, either be able to grow your business. If it is a career, you'll be able to quickly come and tell me that maybe, Sarah, I would like you to connect me with someone whom I have been seeing, like he's your friend. I would like a promotion, and I know he'll be sitting in this panel. Because I'll be going for an interview, is there a way you can help me? But you see, if you have never related with you, I don't know you, I don't even trust you, then it means I cannot be able to connect you. So that is why anytime you are with people, whether it is online or offline, you have to make sure that, of course, you don't have to fear. Meet people and just say hi to them. If you are not sure that you can meet somebody, then ask another person to connect you to them. Let's go to the next slide, Grace. Now, how to overcome economic barriers, life barriers. Of course, we know there are so many things that, of course, that make us not to be able to succeed or to achieve our set goals. And how to overcome these economic or life barriers these are just a few of them because there are so many, but I decided just to get a few because of time. You have to learn to connect others to opportunities. Imagine, it's unfortunate, and I will say again, it is unfortunate, and I hope you are all listening to me very carefully and with your open ears. Have you ever asked yourself why Somalis are so successful? The few who are in business. You go to hotels, they don't have anything, not even a piece of paper, but they connect each other. They hear there's a building that is coming up. There's a plot being sold somewhere. One will come with 100 million, another one 100 million, another one 10 million, and they will not write anywhere because of something we call trust. Jews. I went to South Africa, I met a certain Jew. And the things he told me about Jews, I remember even up to today. When I see a shoe, for a man's shoe, I remember the kind of shoe he was wearing. He told me, you know what, Madam Sarah, the reason why us we are successful is because we really care about each other. We know each other. Wherever any Jew is in South Africa, we know where they live. So he told me, when you look at my shoe, I think of a cobbler, and I don't have to go to anybody else. If I need a shirt like what I am wearing, I know a wholesaler or I know a retailer. If I need a cape, I will know who sells or manufactures capes. And so we connect each other so well. And when we give back to our children, we teach them about the Jewish culture. We teach them about the Jewish culture. And because of that, our mothers are the ones who take care of us. And they tell us how as Jews we are supposed to be. So wherever you go in any part of the world, Jews are very successful. So I asked myself, then why can't we connect each other to opportunities? So from today, I hope, if you have that kawivu, please, itoe too. If you see there's something that I can connect Grace to, tafadhali, just connect her. Then another thing, there's somebody who has talked about is being trustworthy. Most of us are not trustworthy. You are given goods on credit, or you are connected to go and get employed somewhere. Then what happens is that you either come to work late, you're not bothered, you don't care about maybe even paying your goods which have been given on credit on time. You also keep on telling lies. And so that is why many people will not be able to trust you and give you business. Now, I've asked a few questions here. Do I walk the talk? Do I walk my talk? Is it that, do people take me seriously when I say something? There are people who say, achana na Sarah Karingi, huyo, si mtu mwaminifu. Anakwambia something here today, tomorrow she'll talk about something else. Then the other thing is, am I clear on my values? When I talk about my values, there are many times I've refused to work for the government or those government tenders. Why? Because I'm told, Sarah, you know, this project is about 100 million, pay 10 million shillings so that you can get the job. I say, I'm sorry, those are not my values. I'm a person of excellence. I'm a person who can be trusted. I'm a person who will not bribe anybody for business, but I have to work and then be paid for what I have worked for. Then, do I keep my commitments? Many people just promise things, but they will never do them. So if it is maybe probably I focus on, say I promise that I will call you tomorrow at around 10 o'clock, or if I forget, I call you later, or if I don't call you, maybe you are trying to call me and then I disconnect every time I'm disconnecting. That means, of course, I'm not someone who can be trusted. So in that case, we need to really think, are we people, if we want to get rid of the problems that we are facing, we have to be very careful about what we do and how we relate with others. Number one, of course, is being trustworthy. Then we also, if we want to break these barriers, we have to develop new skills and knowledge. It's unfortunate that many people don't like reading books. Not only, you don't even have to read this book. You can listen to a book, either, of course, audio and audio book. You can listen to podcasts. You can go to YouTube. You can go online and Google. You read. So you realize most people, the reason why we don't succeed is because we are reading in content that's not even important. Why would someone be reading things that cannot even add value to them? You always have to keep on thinking, okay, I have new skills that I want to, and especially during in 2020, when of course COVID came, very many people learned new skills. How many people thought even maybe probably working from a home, you can of course also make money as you save money. So many people learned either how to cook, others learned how to sell. Before they never used to sell because they were either working in an office, and many other skills. Others even learned how to do bakery. And there's some people who have grown those businesses so much. Then you also have to add knowledge. Do you ever go back, of course, to learn maybe something about management, about finance, about human resources? Right now, I understand the NSSF has come up with new rates. Are you aware about such? Are you learning? Are you asking maybe HR consultants about them? Then the other thing is, of course, that you have to improve on previous learned skills. Do you know what? Like 10 years ago, how the internet was, it is not how it is today. I've just had somebody saying here, I think it was Atara. I think these people have changed how Zoom is operating. And even me today, I was trying to connect to Zoom. I was telling my daughter, gosh, ma'am, because I'm going to train today. And we tried, of course, Zoom had already changed. And I was like, what is happening? So we tried and tried and tried. And she was able to show me what I was supposed to do. So we have to keep on increasing our knowledge. If it is something you have been doing, like before, you can imagine, I was not really marketing online. I came to learn how to market online. At times I sit with my digital marketing team and I tell them, no, I think we have TikTok. How can we use TikTok to promote our business? And he was like, oh, ma'am, you even know about TikTok. I said, I'm even on TikTok. So I think we have to keep on thinking of this new thing has come. How can I use it? And I started, touching and trying. And sometimes I even know how to make my own videos and nobody taught me. So you have to keep on learning new skills and of course, new knowledge. Then you also have to improve on, of course, what is trending in your industry, trade or career. There are many things that are changing every now and then. When you engage your network, they'll be able to tell you this is what has happened. In my trade, this has happened. Last month, I decided to go to Dubai with my daughter because she has been taking over the business story by story, and I've been coaching her and mentoring her. And I told her I want to go with you to Dubai. Why? I realized that there are certain things that are changing in my wood industry because one of our businesses, we manufacture quality wood products, doors and frames and stuff to do with wood. And then I told her, let us go and see. So when we went, we started learning and we were being told now what is going to happen in this industry. So do you even think of, can I find out, can I go online and search, where is my business today? Or if it is my career, where am I going? How am I going there? Who can I ask? So you have to keep on learning all the time. Then what information have you gathered recently that you can share with other people? Now, you can imagine now, there's a day I was listening to the ambassador of America to Kenya. That is, she's called Meg or Margaret, I think, Whitman. And I heard her say that Kenya is a very strategic country in Africa. Why? It is the gateway to East Africa, that any person who is coming to Kenya, to East Africa, look at Kenya. Kenya is so strategically placed. We have a good, you see, of course, port. If it is the airport, it is very big, it is international. Then she also talked about that it is the leading finance, she said it's the leading finance hub in East Africa. So anything, banks, things to do with anything about finance, Kenya is very big compared to Tanzania and to Uganda. Then she also said that it's gateway to the East African market to 500 customers. So you can imagine have 500 million customers. So it means that, of course, being in Kenya, we are advantaged. And then she also said that it is the most stable country when it comes to politics, but not politics, but she talked about is the most stable democracy in East Africa. But I was like, when you look at how things are happening right now, we really are not very stable, but I believe that things are going to settle. So what it means that when you compare with other countries, the East African countries, we are very lucky. So that is something that I was listening to that clip and I was like, wow, so Kenya, we are so much ahead. So even as we do business, I know Kenyans are very hardworking, Kenyans are very educated, Kenyans are, very aggressive when it comes to business. And so that is why wherever Kenyans go, you find that, of course, there's a very high demand for Kenyans. Let's go to the next slide. I'm almost finishing.
Sarah, our Ugandan friends will have a day with you. They're on this call.
No, he won't beat me. He won't beat me. Yeah. So then
So,
there's one thing that many people don't do, and been trying to observe many people, because somehow it's like either we are a bit selfish, I'm not sure. And if you're not selfish, just remove yourself from that group. That when people talk, say we are two people or we are three people, we are together and we are networking. There are people who will just be the people to talk and talk and talk and talk. They don't want to learn about other people's businesses. They don't want to learn about the challenges that these people are facing. They just want people to listen more to them. Then after that, you see them just leaving. Why? Because of course, they expect these people to do what? To have listened to them. So they're not really interested in them. So we have to be very good listeners. If we are two people, once you introduce yourself so clearly, who you are, the business that you do. Don't talk so much, and then you can share maybe your website so that you can also give other people an opportunity to talk. When God give us 2 ears so that we can listen more and of course also speak less. Then when we're with someone, I think we are someone, not like now when of course we are here because there are some people whose videos are off, so I cannot be able to read you properly. Look at people's body language. When I look at somebody's eyes, I can tell whether this person is connecting with me or not. Also the facial expressions. When I look at you, I'll tell I'm not connecting with Nzula. Then there are times you see someone is just doing something like this, and you're like, so people are already tired with me. So why? We need to ask ourselves, why is it that people are not getting interested in me? So when you are talking to people, use a language or use talk in a way that will make people feel that you are really don't be interesting, but just be interested in them, in what they are saying. Once you listen, then maybe you could even be taking some notes, so that maybe afterwards you can ask them, I had you ask for this connection. I think I can connect you with him. You wanted a supplier of bathtubs, or you wanted a supplier of washing machines. I have those connections. So when someone sees that, of course, you have been interested in them, they will definitely want to do business with you. So there's this quote by Zig Ziglar, which says, if people like you, they will listen to you. If they trust you, they will do business with you. So you see, again, there's like and there's trust. So if I like you, I will like you because of maybe something you've done for me, or somehow I just love your personality, or I have checked you online and there's something that you've been sharing so much and you have been helping people. So trust starts to build. So the moment I have that breakthrough with you, there will be no time when I will never want to either connect you to an opportunity or support you in any venture that you want to be supported in. So let us be very careful. Let us listen to others' challenges and their pain. And then after that, we see how we can give them support. Let us just be like Jews. Let us be like the Somalis. Or even Asians. Look at how they support each other. There's a time I had to go when my husband was building. And I would go to Wekomba. And I used to see, there used to be a certain kisi in between two Asians. And I used to wonder, why would these people sell to me? Because of course, at times I would ask place for an order for certain things and you find that they are not available. Then instead of getting from this kisi, that man needs to go to the other shop. So I realized now this time I understand why he was doing that, because of course they are connected and they trust each other. Let's go to the last slide. Grace. So we go to, of course, there's something we call a brand. And a brand, according to Jeff Bezos, is your brand is what people say about you when you are not in the room. A room can be anywhere. It can be online, it can be offline. Maybe someone will hear someone talking about another and is like, wow, I didn't know Sarah like that. Really? So when you are not there, as I said, I went to Dubai with my daughter last month. And there was this company that sells properties in Dubai and all over the world. A very big company. I had connected them to someone from Kenya, and that person bought certain properties there. And then, as now they were trying to present to us, I told my daughter in Swahili, Ebu fungua their ratings. My goodness, the things that were said about them were so bad that, gosh, I didn't know what to tell them. But I said, okay, when I go back to Kenya, I'll come back to you. So just look at that. Now, people have rated them so badly. Others call them conmen. Others say they don't deliver. Others say, yeah, there's so many things that I'm here seated with them, like what? And they want me to connect them again. I said, not me, but I couldn't tell them on the face. So when I came back, I sent them an email and told them, please check your ratings online. Then after that, you come back to me. By the way, even up to now, they haven't come back to me because I don't know that if they check, and if they check, then I think it's just unfortunate. So you have to protect your brand by all means, by whichever means. What I mean by brand is, don't ever go insulting people, because there are people who post very bad things online. There are others, maybe like you're just walking, you are in the car, like there's someone I saw was shouting at another time, calling him ass. Why was it be? You know, and I looked at him, I'm like, gosh, it is the same man that I know. So you can imagine that. So you have to make sure that wherever you go, whatever you also post online is something of substance. It is not something that will make you not get a business. I remember there's a certain lady who was dancing. She was working for a certain NGO. And she went dancing. She got very high and she was dancing in a very weird way. She was lifting her dress. And then someone took that video. Do you know what happened after that? Because they didn't want to be associated with her, they decided to get rid of her. Why should you lose employment because of something like that? So protect your brand by all means. Make sure that when you are online and offline, people will always talk nice things about you. Of course, it's not that there are those people who are jealous, but generally, please let us protect our names so that people can always want to connect with us, lift us, and give us more business or connect us to various opportunities and other post connections. Let's go to the next slide. Now, I want us to talk about now our task now as, say, business people, as career people, as networkers. Now, there's something I came across, which is now our task. So, our task in breaking economic barriers. So, what are you supposed to do? Now, every time people are complaining and saying, oh, politics, everything is like they're waiting to see things just happen so that maybe they will have a reason why not to work. We have to focus on our talents, and our talents are our natural gifts. You have a gift. Everybody, when your mother gives back to you like that, God knows He has given you a certain talent. There are those natural gifts that God has given you. So how well are you using them? So don't go complaining. And someone will come and tell you, by the way, I see you are so good at this, but you ignore. I see when people see you, they feel so good about you. And even when you go out there, you're always wanting to serve. So that's a skill that God has already given you. You see, I mean, there's a gift that God has given you. And people say, I see like you're so good with flower arrangement. That's a business for you. So why should you be complaining? Maybe you could even be employed. You could be doing some side hustles, and maybe that side hustle can also give you a lot of business. And so you have to always think, what are my talents? And how can I make use of them? Instead of wasting time, make use of those talents. And your problems, when it comes to money, when it comes to life, of course, will change. Then the other one is your attitude. Our attitude is our ways of who we are and how we do things. Let me tell you what I mean by this is that when you have a negative attitude, nobody whatsoever will want to relate with you. So how you carry yourself, people will know, are you a person of positive attitude or are you a person of negative attitude? Those people with positive attitude are always willing to listen to others. They are always willing to be available. They are dependable. And you can even tell from a group of people. So when your ways are not straight, people just, of course, will not want to do anything to deal with you at all. So let us maintain a positive attitude so that people can continue helping us, can continue blessing us, can continue giving us opportunities, can continue giving us ideas. They can also give us information that can grow us and change the way we think and the way we do things. Then our skills, what are our skills, our proficiencies, and the things we can do. What is that skill you have learned? Like for me, I have learned a lot about networking, and I have been able to keep every day I polish my networking skills everywhere I go. And that is what I want to be doing. Leave alone these other businesses of construction and real estate and manufacturing of this or selling of water. That for me is not what is, I feel so deeply in my heart is networking. That art I have kept improving all the time. I have been able to grow so much that even globally, I'm called to go and speak. Like in July, I'll be going to Canada to speak about networking. Why? Because the world can see. When they search Sarah Karingi, just see. When you turn left, Sarah is networking. When you turn right, it's networking. When you look forward, Sarah is networking. You look behind, Sarah is there. Because I love people and I love seeing people grow. And anybody knows, even when they come to leadership, I make sure that I lead so well. And those people who are here, they know me and they know that I have been their leader. They can agree with me because I like us working together. And I don't, it's not titles. For me, titles are not really important. It's that skill of leadership. What is it that you can give to people above self? You see, like, and that's why I also decided to join the Rotary Club, because you see, it's about helping others and seeing others change. It's not just about me. When I die, what is it? I don't even that people need to be praising me, but there's a seed that I have planted of leadership, of mentorship, of coaching. You call me like, hey, Sarah Karingi is here. What can I do for you? So if I know you, let me tell you, I even take people in my car and tell you, let me take you to Grace. And I tell Grace, listen, this girl or this gentleman is a very good friend of mine. I market you. And then after that, I tell Grace, the way you can help me, please help this person. Then the other thing is knowledge. How do you use the knowledge that you have to scale your business or to become that very good person that when people look at you, they know that this person is very knowledgeable. If it is something to do with entrepreneurship, this person is very good with entrepreneurship. I can go to her, I can rely on her, and I can rely on him. When it comes to things to do with maybe anything that you can also be consulted. And for me, it's like I've realized that now because I've become good at networking, now I have, we were being taught by Pepe Minabo about, of course, reaching up at a point where now we are like a Coke. You see, a Coke is so distinct. Whatever it is, it can be seen. So now I've reached a point where now I feel I am like that Coke. Because when you put all other bottles, looking at it, everybody will know this is Coke. Even a small child, you know this is a Coca-Cola bottle. So with that knowledge that I have, it has helped me now also to not only grow people, but it has also helped me because, of course, I make money through it. So let's go to the next slide. So with the knowledge that you have, of course, with task, make sure your task, of course, is to make sure that, of course, whatever we have discussed here is what you are going to do. So as I finish, because, of course, now I am through, I would like, first of all, to say that we need to understand that the networks that we join, the networks that we are in, we can exploit them. If you want an influencer, let me tell you, if you want to know where you can get good networks, it is good to join the relevant networks, like say like in golf club, because in golf clubs I've met so many people. And there are people who say, hey, Mimi, because I'm not a golfer, so you can't have a golf club. Now I asked myself, Grace is my friend, she goes to Muthaiga Sports Club. Muthaiga Golf Club. Maybe Jane is my friend, she goes to Thika Sports Club. Sarah is my friend, she's a member of Video Sports Club. You know what? Through that relationship, she can now be able to take you to somebody who probably always patronizes Muthaiga Golf Club. So if you want to meet that person, through Grace, you can be able to go to Muthaiga Sports Club. So you don't have to be the person, you don't have to be a member of that particular club in order for you to get a connection. So if it is that person who can help you, always think, where can I, who is the person who can help me? Then Google them, find out where they go. Then after that, what we need to do is, of course, we need to know that we don't just have to focus on what can I get from somebody. The thing here is about networking. What can I do for the other person? When you do that, people will be so interested in you. And they will also want to help you when it comes to connections. So I think with that, allow me now to stop because I know Grace is winking at me and wondering why it's taking a little bit longer. And I would also like to say that I'm so happy that at least you have listened to me. So if you want to learn about networking, because there are some people that I have been training, their businesses were dying. One of them is now coming up, and every time we are working together, I think you can just consult me because even my telephone number is there, my email address is there. I will work with you, and I can tell you for sure, your business is going to change. If it's a career, you want to get maybe promoted, what do you need to do in order for it to be promoted without even bribing anybody? And then the relationships are what is most important. I will connect you and tell you that if I trust you, the word is trust. If I like you and I trust you and I know you very well, I can tell you for sure, I'll do anything to see, anything within my power, connect you to those opportunities that probably you have been looking for. So if it is business that is dying, if it's maybe you want training, you have staff that are maybe not doing so well. I've also been able to train my own people in our businesses how to scale our business. I can tell you, I don't even go to work most of the times. Our employees have been able to scale our businesses. Why? Because I appreciate them. I have learned the art of appreciating people. I have learned the art of not even discriminating anybody, even a security guard, even a cleaner, whoever it is in an organization are very important. So thank you very much, Grace. And thank you to everybody who has listened to me. So I believe that I hope I have delivered value. And so, asanteni sana. So any questions are now welcome. So I don't know what Grace wants us to do now after this. And asanteni sana. And I'm so sorry, my network has an issue here. So I'm using my phone. I can't even see. Thank you, Grace.
That's fine. That's fine, Sarah. Wow, wow, wow. Every time I listen to you, I am just wowed. I am just, yeah, may God continue using you. And let me see, I think we have a question here. Somebody is saying, what should a case where the other party is not interested in connection, even where when the motive is pure? How do you deal with a case where the other party is not interested in connection, even when the motive is pure? How do you deal with that?
Okay. So the connection, what exactly does it? Okay, ask the question again.
He's saying, how do you deal with a case where the connection is not, the other party is not interested in connecting with you?
Oh, okay. Yes, you know what? Let me just share with you something that happened when I joined this Business Network International. When I joined, let me tell you, I faced rejection. And you find that when you're a new person, you go somewhere, people will look at you like, okay, to be very honest, I was very fearful. I was full of so much fear. I didn't have the confidence. And then those people would look at me and they see like, this woman is just from, Mashambani, or rather, I was from the Rio Juakali sector. And what happened is that I was not able to express myself. I was like, these people, they know so much. Then you see the confidence they have. I didn't know it was just a matter of time. Then there were those people who you go there and when they are talking to you, you talk to them and some of them turn their backs away. Then one of them who saw that came and told me, Sarah, you don't have to feel like you are, of course they are rejecting you, but you know what? You paid for membership. So it's just a matter of time. Just do your thing and don't bother about them. So there are those people who initially they may not even bother about you. So it's just a matter of time. Give them time. Or if you really want to connect with them, find out who their friends are. When you find out who their friends are, they'll open up to you. This is something I can tell you I have seen and I have learned. And there are people who, even when I meet them in clubs, you try to say hi to them, they are so cold. And then maybe there's somebody, even like a waiter, who knows them. And then I ask them, maybe I've been wanting to connect with that person because there's something probably I want from them. So this waiter has been a friend. I always see them laughing and joking. So you can imagine who a waiter is. And that waiter is the one who will come and tell me, what nitaenda niongee na yeye. So he goes and tells them, this person, Sarah nataka kuongea na wewe. Mwambie akuje. So you can see. So it is just a matter of time and also getting the right people to connect you to this person who wants to be so cold or who is very cold towards you. Because there are some people naturally who are just like that. For me, when you talk to me on the street, I'll be, hi. Then I'll be, hi, how are you? Where have we met? But the other people who are very different. I hope I've answered your question.
I think you have. I think you have. I want, there's a guy called, I've forgotten his name. And he told us you are 5 away from the Queen. So if you're looking to meet the Queen of England, you only need 5 contacts to get there. So you know, yes. Grace knows Sarah, Sarah knows Jane, yes. Jane knows Kevin knows Catherine, and Catherine knows the Queen. Yes. So it's a chain. It's a chain. So the more people you network with, the easier it is to reach out to the other people. There's another question here from Jericho, says, can I network from marketing, or is there is a difference?
Marketing and networking.
Yeah.
So I cut you short.
Yeah, so no, she's asking whether she can network for marketing or there's a difference, because I think I get what you're saying, because sometimes people, and especially I've seen prominent people, everyone is always asking them for things. So if you go and you're also asking them for something, they normally tend to have a wall. So what is the difference, and or how can you market while you network? How can you break this wall?
Yeah. Yes. What you do, number one, of course, is that I've seen networking is actually a skill. And when you meet people, of course, you are marketing your product, because networking is part of marketing. But you see, one thing about networking is that it's about building a relationship. So when you go, you may not be able to build a relationship instantly. So you have to, first of all, once you introduce yourself, get to know about, maybe someone is listening to you, they want to know what you do and what you are. And then from there, you have to also there's also something we call personality. Try to understand this person's personality. There are people who want to be told something very fast. There are others who are like, they take their time, they listen to you. Like I remember I went to a certain Mzee who is a father to a friend of mine. This man is a very wealthy man, but very cool. So I went to his office. So when I was trying to talk about my business, I felt like I was almost freezing, because he was looking at me straight in the eyes and he was emotional. You know, he was not moving at all. So when I was talking about my business, he asked me, my son told me you are the queen of networking. I said, yes. Why are you the queen? Then I explained to him how I have helped people, what I have done, how I have led people and all that. They said, wow, that is very nice. Then he told me, now I want you to market your products to me. So I told him about our business, all the businesses that we do. Then after that, any other business that you do? I said, okay. Then I told him about it. So I had to first of all look at him and first try to relax as much as possible, because the moment you show someone that you are not so sure of what you are saying or what you are doing, then he may not really understand. But when you have the networking skills, when you know how to approach people and what to say and how to say it, that delivery is what will help you to have a breakthrough. So even as you market, try as much as possible to equip yourself with networking skills. That is relationships with people, looking at someone, and of course, also smiling and just being, and of course, not overdoing it. And when you do that, people, of course, will somehow relax and open up. Thank you.
All right. And Stella is asking, how do you deal with the network that reaches out to you when they need help, but turn you down when you need their help?
That happens so much. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Let us try to be like Jews, or let us try to be like Walalos. There are many people who do that. By the way, have you ever been in a WhatsApp group? You don't know, these people don't even put their images. And what they will do is that, you see, they put you in a certain group. Maybe it's for fundraising. I don't know, sometimes it's for going to visit their mothers or something. And you're like, why has someone put me in a group and they have not even explained to me, they don't have a relationship with me. So what I have seen people doing is just to leave and understand, and which for me, I think is still okay. So those people who do something like that, I think they need to understand that you cannot just start pushing people to give you something, yet they don't know you. Start by, first of all, understanding who they are. Then once you build that relationship, so even when you call them, when they call you, then to be very easy for you to do what? To, of course, do or help them the way you can. Because even me, there are certain groups, I tell them, I'm sorry, me, I don't know you, and you should not have put me in this group. Yeah.
Yeah, there's of course some need for boundaries. I agree with you, Sarah.
Yeah.
I actually put my WhatsApp on, if you need to add me in a group, you have to request first.
I also did the same.
Yeah, because my friend, you find yourself as a chief guest for Harambe you knew nothing about.
Yes.
But I mean, these are some of the issues that come with networking. Now, there's another question here. Thank you, Frank, for the clarity. I forgot the queen died, but it was just a figure of speech. But Darani is saying, oh yeah, and I've seen quite a number of people. There's someone tuning in from Ghana and another one from Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us. We are here every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m., of course, with different topics. And we are going to share our YouTube channel just shortly so that you can also get to catch up on the other discussions that we've had, quite a lot. Darani is saying, kindly share Madam Sarah's contact. I would like to get connected with her. Okay, we are going to do that. Faith is saying, is there a secret to networking with people from the older generation who may already have a prejudice that we are young and inexperienced? That is for younger generations. I've asked that because I've also seen somebody who is saying the same, something connected to the same in terms of how do you need, I had seen something. There's someone who was asking about the same thing for the younger people. So how do you network with the older people and they might think that you're young and yeah.
Yeah, that happens quite a lot. And I have seen some older people somehow shunning the younger people. And for me, it's like even a child can network you to somebody, and you can also connect with anybody of whatever age. As I have said, what you need to do is, if you sincerely want to meet someone, this person is much older than you, and maybe you have the fear. And some people, are too rich. People feel they fear very rich people, or they fear someone who they think is so big. That is all in their mind. The approach is very important. So what you do is that look for their friends. Who are their friends? If it is the church that they go to, who is their pastor? Find out who the pastor is. Then that pastor now will tell him, I want to meet with this mzee. I would like to meet with this person. And that person will be able to help you. That is why networks are very important. Find out who is connected to this man, so that if you sincerely want to meet that man, then you can get the connection. Let me tell you a short story of someone I met who I was very, very clever. I used to have to visit a certain hotel, which is on Jivanji Gardens. I don't know the name of the road. And there was a hotel there called Parkside. And the owner of that Parkside hotel used to drive a very big Mercedes. You see the ones which are this side in front and back, they were the same. That was the side of very rich men. And this man was a lawyer. He just left campus and he wanted to be connected to those wazees who were coming to meet this man. Now, one of the men told him, if you want to connect with these wazees and you want them to do business with you, what you do, go and buy a Mercedes similar to them. You know what this man did? He didn't buy a Mercedes similar to that. What he did was, he actually hired that Mercedes. He came and parked next to all their Benzes. So when they were going out, so he, of course, got into his vehicle. And then they called him back. They said, oh, this is your car. He said, yes. And that is how he started connecting with them. So at times it's just wisdom. At times it's just connecting with somebody who will also tell you what to do so that you can get connected to another person. Because there are people who look at you and they're like, oh, this one can't afford. So I think that is now what we are supposed to do, and never fear. Always try to seek for solutions. Who can help me? If Sarah doesn't help you, go to Atara. If Atara can't help you, go to Richard. If Richard can't help you, go to the other person. But never stop moving. Never stop asking, and never stop consulting. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. And the last question, Sarah, somebody is asking, I think his name is Collins. Yeah, Collins Ochoka. Can I network through social media?
You know what? That is, yes, 100% you can network with people on social media. Now, of course, networking, as I've said, of course, is connecting with people and developing them into mutually beneficial relationships. You see, most of the time, people, just as I said, just think about themselves. But what you do, something I did one time, the late Kirubi, I started commenting on his, used to talk about networking. And I would like some of his quotes, and I would somehow, of course, comment, and I started connecting with him. So one time, one of the people, the ladies who are working for him, or the finance manager, was my friend. And she told me, hey, meeting that Musa is not so easy, Sarah. So I started connecting with him like that. Then one time there was an event sponsored by Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industries. So every day I would check on social media, I see what he has posted, and I would comment like that. So now what happened was that now when I met him in that particular event, I just said hi to him. I looked for an opportunity. I said hi to him and I said, my name is Sarah Karingi. He said, oh, that name sounds familiar. And I said, yes, I really love what you post online. So you see, now I started connecting with him. And from then told me, oh, Then I told him, I'm the queen of networking and I love networking. And they told me, okay, take my card, come and see me in my office, then we can talk more. You see now, so it means that even on social media, you have to have the art or you learn how to connect with people. If you sincerely want to meet somebody, continue following them on their social media, be it Facebook, be it LinkedIn. If they're in a certain group, then join that group and then they'll start seeing what you are posting. Then always post things that can give value to others. Never, ever criticize people, please. Oh, you see that we have been seeing people talking about, oh, Raila Odinga, oh, Ruto, oh, what. Be very neutral. Don't attack anybody. And if you have to, talk positively about others because the world, the internet never forgets. So you have to be very careful even when you are networking online, engage people, and then of course start by either appreciating what they have done or what they have, then you can go to their maybe website, or you go to their companies and see what they are doing. And then you say, yes, I really liked what you posted on this particular day. You see those people be interested in you. There are some people I also see, they connect me. Then they come to LinkedIn, they want to connect with me. And that is how I've connected with them. Then when I go somewhere, we meet and they say, Sarah, I'm the person who requested for your connection on LinkedIn. And automatically they become my friends. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, amazing. Kevin, what do we have on Facebook?
And to our Facebook family, we don't have any questions so far. People are just appreciative of the session, and they are really grateful to you, Ms. Sarah Karingi. They're just saying thank you so much for this session. It has come in timely. Back to you, Grace.
All right, thank you very much. I think this is amazing. I'm just seeing claps flying on the screen, and I can tell that we are getting somewhere. We are getting there. But Sarah, my last question is
Yes.
no, before we get to ask you the last question, Kevin, we have an offer from Frank. You want to read it out?
Definitely, sure. Can you give me the permissions to share my screen?
Oh, sorry. Oops. Oh, you had logged out.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, thank you so much, Grace. And as always, we have solutions here with that training for us. For those of us who've attended this training, 4 people are going to be given an opportunity to have either an LMS training on networking outside the company or networking within the company. So if you are interested in either of the 2 trainings, please share your information with Grace at atarosolutions.co.ke or
Send a
with
email.
yes, stating the reasons as to why you feel you are eligible for that training, and copy Mr. Frank at pathwaysolutions.co.uk. I'll be sharing the email addresses through the chat. So it's going to be on a basis of first come, first serve. Thank you, and back to you, Grace.
All right. Thank you very much. Please take advantage of the offer. Please send an email. Kevin is about to share my email address and that of Frank. If you send to me only without copying Frank, you reduce your chances of getting the fully sponsored training with Pathway Solutions. Please make sure you copy Frank and myself. Kevin is typing our email addresses on the chat. Please take advantage of the offers, and they're free, and you can get on their LMS, which you can train on your own pace. They give you enough time for you to get that, and they also give you a certificate. All right, and yes. Who is asking? Is there? No, it is not restricted to Kenyans only. It is for the world over. Anyone on this call, you are eligible for the trainings. Anyone on the call, you are eligible for the trainings. It's on LMS, so you can just train on your own pace and just get to learn. So yes, please make sure you send that email. Yeah, right, Sarah. I wanted to ask you a last question. The we have these people who call themselves introverts. They say they're not able to start conversations. They say they do not know how to connect with other people. What are the 2 things or 3 things or whatever, 1 or 2 that they can do to build their confidence and be able to step out and network? You're on mute. Oh dear.
Sorry,
Okay.
I'm using my
Yeah.
phone, so I'm trying to tap with my finger. So it's sorry. Anyway, yeah. People say that introverts are not networkers. And I remember I had gone to South Africa one time, and I was looking for a book that I could read about introverts and networking. And that book really challenged me as well. And what it talks about is that the author actually is an introvert, and he shares how introverts are supposed to network. One thing he says is, when an introvert maybe they feel that, of course, they feel like they're space, and that's what my daughter tells me because she's also an introvert. I never used to understand. Mommy, I feel people are taking away a lot of my energy. We are always talking to so many people. I just feel that I want to stay with one person. So what they need to do is, once you get into a room, for example, the first thing they feel is that they feel very uncomfortable. But what they do is they sit. Where they go and sit, they will not leave that place. But they are so keen. Introvert, let me tell you, they are very keen to detail. They are very good listeners. They will pick a lot of information. So even if there are 100 people, they'll pick on only 2 people or 3 people. But in most cases, they'll pick like 2 people. So what they do, they focus more on one person or on the 2 people. They listen to one person, they listen. They go to the other person, they do the same. And after that, once they connect, once an introvert connects with you, they can do very great things. So what I would advise the introverts is, don't be scared even when you see people like Atara, she's everywhere talking with Sarah, she's talking with Richard, she's talking with whoever. But once you meet somebody and you are in a networking event, don't feel like whatever you are doing is wrong, because naturally that is who you are, but you are taking details. And by the way, I would rather you network with only 3 people than network with 100 people and come out with nothing. You not have known anything about somebody else. You not have focused on people. So for them, they are more about quality, not quantity. So introverts, if you are in this room, I congratulate you, because I know I have worked with some introverts and they have given me very good connections and they've listened to me. But you see, I also allow them to come into my space, because many extroverts are like, them, they don't care. And when they see you are an introvert, they just dismiss you. But for introverts, congratulations, because I know you are very good at what you do, and the fact that you can focus more, listen more, and give quality. Yeah.
That's absolutely true, Sarah. That's absolutely true. I sometimes want to say that even salespeople, introverts make better salespeople, and people think extroverts do better. But introverts make very deep connections with others, and therefore the start is what is normally needs to be buffered. But after it starts, that's it. So if you're an introvert in the room, please just take courage and show up in that event. And somebody will even approach you. And then you can strike a conversation from there. Even if you're networking with only the people who are seated next to you, it is a beginning, right? All right.
Yes.
Yes, I think, Sarah, we can never exhaust questions on networking. And I see time is not necessarily on our side, but give us your parting shots, if you may.
Yes. What I would say is that, number one, I have quotes that I challenge myself at Tara. And I said one day that it's only Europeans or Americans or people from outside Africa, most of them, of course, are those whose quotes that we listen to or we read. And I decided to have my own quotes. And there's one quote that I really like, that make other people's business your business, and you will be in business. Make other people's business your business, and you will be in business. So be interested in other people, they'll be interested in you. Help other people, they will help you. Give people and they'll give you. Give people business, they give you business. Give people connections, they also give you connections. So in short, it's about mutual relationship. But I also want people to understand one thing. If someone helps you today, don't expect them now that you start pushing them. I helped you, so help me. No, it should be, Grace has helped me today. So how can I challenge myself to help her just in case she's need of something more? Can I carry her with me? Can I carry her business with me? So make other people's business your business and you'll be in business. Thank you, Grace.
Wow. Make other people's business your business and you will be in business. Excellent. I love that. And there's something else I've noticed in my networking like lessons is sometimes the people who have helped me have not necessarily, I've not been able to help them, but the help they have given me has enabled me help others. And therefore we have created a bigger web such that in as much as they're not tapping into me directly, they're tapping into other people that I have touched their lives as well. So I've noticed that happens every now and then. But hey, please buy Sarah's books. All those quotes are in those books. There are 3. Decide which one you want to buy, to invest in. I like the one with who is in your room. But yes, you can decide which one that you want to buy. Sarah, how do we get the books?
Yeah, the first way you can get my books is online. Go to Amazon and buy the books. They are there, all of them. Then my books are not in the bookshop because there's a time my books were sold on the streets of Nairobi, and it really discouraged me. But I said that we have to, as a soldier, we have to keep on fighting. So I decided to put my books in at United Kenya Club. So there are many people who get them from there. So they're just distributed. If you need a book, don't worry, it will be delivered to you right to where you'll be. I have a rider whom I normally send, and they will come and drop the books to you. And each book is 1,200 shillings. And on the side, when I sell at 1,200 shillings, I dedicate 600 shillings to children that I help and women living with cancer and women who give birth on the street. So I accumulate the money, then 1 month I'll give to one group of people, the other one to another, then the third to another. So the 600 shillings, of course, the balance is 300 goes to me and the 300 shillings goes to the publisher. Yeah, so when I sell the books, I love helping and I've helped so many children. Some of them have even gone up to university, now they're working, and I'm also now helping others. So when you buy a book, just know that we are helping a child somewhere, or a lady who has given birth on the streets, or a lady who is suffering from cancer. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sarah. That is amazing. Thank you. So let's try and get the books. Somebody is asking about the training. The trainings are on offer by Pathway Solutions. Kevin had shared. Maybe Kevin, you can put it on the chat as well. Yeah, the trainings are networking within the company or networking in the company or something like that. Right. Kevin, you've not posted in for everyone. Fred Ngutia says, make other people's business your business and they will give you business. I agree with you. That is Sarah's quote. I love that quote. She's definitely going on my WhatsApp status just now. In the next 2 minutes, I will be putting that up. But there's the one I put again. You don't have to be interesting. You just have to be interested. Point to note for you, for us introverts, because I'm one of them. Sometimes I don't know what to say. But yes, and I'm very comfortable behind the screens. Now you know. Right. So thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Thank you for being with us this evening. We really appreciate. Allow us to also go and enjoy the evening. Frank is saying, can those interested sign their email with first and surname? I require these to set up emails. That's fine, Frank. Please, if you're requesting, I've seen emails already, maybe we'll respond to them. But thank you, our audience, for tuning in here. Please join us next Tuesday. We are going to be listening to a story of somebody who is a recovering alcoholic, and is going to tell us how he has managed so far and the effect alcoholism had and the hard time or good time he had in the workplace, and how he's been able to clean up. If you put your emails there, we're going to lose them. Please send us emails so that we can get your emails. Send us the emails to us if you're requesting for training. But if you're looking for the recording, if you signed up for this session, we will email you the recording. And of course, we'll talk to Sarah and see whether she has given us permission to share her slides. But yes, again, people don't even hear. Sawa. So thank you so much. You guys are amazing. My name is Grace Nzula. If you have training needs in your organization, please get in touch with the Tara Solutions and we'll be able to deliver them. If you are running an SME and you cannot afford to hire a full-time HR professional, please get in touch with us and we are going to also come and support you on that end. And please, I have said, do not send us your email addresses. Send us an email, like email grace@tarasolutions.co.ke and copy Frank at Pathway
Solutions. Yes.
Yes. Frank at Pathway
Solutions Services.co.uk.
Yes, please note it .co.uk. If you send us your emails, we cannot keep tab of everyone. Please note this is offer for only 4 people. So if you put your email here and 4 people have already sent their emails on our inboxes, we may not be able to reach out to you. So thank you so much. How can we get the link to the meeting? Please join our WhatsApp group. Get it right with the Tara Solutions. And you have missed other sessions previously. I think Jacinta had posted our links. Kevin, you have seen them? You have shared the link. Please join our WhatsApp group for ease of access of the link for next time. And then you can also check out our YouTube channel. If you missed this, the recording will be up on YouTube within the week. Yeah, so the YouTube channel is there, and then the WhatsApp group link. Frank says, I got 5 people, that is all. Okay, they have emails, Frank, so we'll check on email. Yeah, so if 5 people have already emailed. Okay, right, there is our WhatsApp group. Please join our WhatsApp group to be informed on what's happening with the Tara Solutions and the topics we are discussing. We are dealing with alcoholism next week, and this time is not going to be from a psychologist's point, but from somebody who is recovering from it. And then the other week or the week after that, we're going to be looking at suicide, because we had a case of suicide here in Kenya the other day that is trending. So we are going to have an expert tell us how to look out for suicidal thoughts or comments, and how we can support our people to prevent from suicide. So those are some of the things that we'll be looking at within the month of April. Other than that, my co-host, Kevin, you can say your closing remarks, and then, yeah.
Thank you. As always, we are always very happy to engage with you during these sessions, and we are always looking forward to engage with you even further. Reason being, these sessions are always a part of our learning experiences and sessions as well. And we are happy to always learn from you, to always get to understand where and to come through for all of us that we can be and move forward as a team. Back to you, Grace. And thank you, Sarah, for this session today.
Yes, Sarah has done an amazing job. Thank you so much. Sarah, thank you for agreeing to be with us tonight. I know you were supposed to be in Rotary, but you sacrificed to be with us. Thank you. May God bless you. May God. Asante sana, we appreciate it. And I'm sure you have touched several lives today. So for that, we appreciate and God bless you. All right, from us, it's always a pleasure having you. My name is Grace Nzula, otherwise known as Moderator of Choice. And we shall see you next week, the same time, same place, as we look at alcoholism direct from a personal experience, and especially how they survive in the workplace. Because, oh my God, as HR professionals, every time we have an alcoholic, we want to fire them by the third one because we want results, but here we are dealing with a disease. So how do we deal with that? So see you next week, Tuesday. And from us, it's good night.